Hello, this is the pre-market trade of the day. We are 30 minutes away from the beginning of the London session. We look back to our last pre-market trade of the day. It was on gold, and in this week it's not that easy to come into a trade. Again, we have no trade, and these were my marked zones, and you can see it missed it. Here was an order block, and then higher was an order block last day. And it reacted a little bit too early before my marked close zone, so we came not into a trade. It reacted very nice here, but my zone was a little bit higher, and so we came not in a trade. And yeah, so far again 0 pips for this pre-market trade of the day. But we don't have to care about this. We made the last week's lot of pips. And there are periods where we don't come into trades because I play always safe. I don't force trades only to think we get some pips. I want to trade conservative and to generate pips on a conservative method. So 0 pips for this pre-market trade of the day, and we look to Victor's method. Victor made here this result on Wednesday with his multiplier method, where he analyzes 30 pairs and sets then his alerts and goes into the trades like I showed you some days ago in an extra video, on a separate video. And again, a very nice result on Wednesday on his account here. So, and here comes the new pre-market trade of the day. And I choose the EURCAD. We're on the H1 time frame. You can see our trend lines, the lower trend line, the upper trend line. And we have here the hypnotic software painted supply zones. And there's no demand zone at the moment, only supply zones, which means we are looking more for sell trades at the moment here on this pair. And if I make this chart a little bit smaller, you can see we have here interesting area. There's a strong order block, the light red one, and a normal sell order block, the normal red one, and this is in this supply zone, this H1 supply zone from hypnotic. The white rectangles are H1 supply zones, the blue ones are H4 supply zones, and in supply zones we expect that price gives a sell reaction. And you can see here was a really nice big drop, and if price comes back to such an area where this began, then there is a supply zone created like here showed from the hypnotic software. And so I want to trade here this sell order block, and from the beginning of this area where the drop began, I would go a little bit deeper as the order blocks, I would say here where this spike, in the middle of this spike to the end of this old H1 sell or supply zone. So this is our first area where we can try to get into a sell trade if we see price action, of course. And the next 2 order blocks, the sell order blocks, are very nice too. You can see here we come over this market structure here, and if there are placed stop losses from traders who are in these down moves, it's possible that market makers want today come into this area here, and so we would mark this here too as a sell level. If price gives us not here a good reaction, we can expect here a reaction. And of course then here in this big H4 supply zone we have a strong sell order block, so I would mark here the complete supply zone here as a sell point 2 if we see here price action. So let's look for buy trades too. I want only to be a buyer if we get a really big drop and we came back below this market structure here. I don't think we will see this today, but we always make a trade plan in case of. And if price should come below this market structure, then we have here this nice area with a normal and a strong buy zone. then I would look here for buy price action again. But I ignore the other ones here. I want more to be a seller, that we get here the reactions on these points, on these market structure points here. So let's make the chart bigger again here. So these are our zones. Let's hope that price gives us some opportunities today to trade this. You can see on our sell zones, we are above the bank sell level, which means we can expect that price can reverse easier. So I think these are good zones. Let's hope for price action, and then let's hope for pips today. Until then, in 24 hours, have a nice trading day.